Warning. Censorship. Warning.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel News live stream on this, a Thursday, October 7th, 2021. I'm David Menzies, and my co-host, well, let me tell you about my co-host, folks. You know, Monday is Thanksgiving, and my co-host is a lady I'm thankful for 365 days a year, or 366 in a leap year. She is the she-devil with a sword. She is the Khaleesi of Northern Alberta. She is Sheila Gunn Reid. How you doing there, Sheila?
David, I'm doing excellent. Always a little bit better after I hear your introduction. And you know what? Next time I'm back in the office, and it's my regret that we didn't do this when I saw you last weekend. We should cut a wrestling promo for our show. Don't you think? We totally should.
You know what? I think that's a great idea. Last year at Toys R Us, I think you suggested that last year because I bought a WWE plastic replica belt at Toys R Us. You can tell I'm not the market for it because I can't get it around my waist, but it'll go around your waist. So I will present you with this belt, and
yes.
we'll cut a promo. By the way, Sheila, what are you doing on Thanksgiving? I see our friend Jason in Ottawa sent us an interesting thing about some professor saying that maybe in light of truth and reconciliation, we shouldn't be celebrating Thanksgiving, but I'm of the opinion that what if you are Indigenous and you want to celebrate Thanksgiving? Because it's such a great time getting together with friends and family, having a fantastic meal. What if they want to celebrate it? Do they get an exemption, or is it right off the board? Can you make sense of this madness, Sheila?
No, it's just a bunch of white liberals talking about what Indigenous people should do, just like how they are cheering on the burning of churches, and we're like, yeah, but Indigenous people use those churches. We don't care. It's, colonialism or whatever. And they're like, no, those are our churches. Don't burn them down. It's the same thing. I mean, we don't really want to distract from Justin Trudeau enjoying his truth and reconciliation and catching some tasty waves days, I guess. Maybe that's what they're talking about. But as far as whatever I'm doing on Thanksgiving, first of all, it's none of the government's business what I'm doing on Thanksgiving, because Jason Kenney has said that if you are unvaccinated, you cannot see anybody. You can't go to somebody else's house. You can't visit your family on Thanksgiving. And to that I say, I will be turning away no one. If you want to come to my house, you're coming to my house, you're going to get some turkey, I'm smoking a ham, I'm rolling up some cabbage rolls, probably going to be a fire in the backyard. There's going to be more food than I know what to do with, and the last thing I care about when I'm giving thanks for the things that God has given me that I do not deserve, the last thing I'm going to do is consider turning away my friends and family because some politician told me to. Not a chance. Come and get me, Alberta government. We're having fun, we're having people, and I don't care.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, to paraphrase Charlton Heston, Premier Kenney, you will take the drumstick from me from my cold, dead hands.
Yeah.
That's the only way it ain't going in my mouth. But, you know what, Sheila, what do you want to bet? And I've seen the local politicians here discouraging get-togethers. What do you want to bet that this political elite class, they're getting together? In their cottages, in their retreats. Oh yeah, they're getting together.
In Sky Palace,
Yeah.
like up there in Sky Palace. Sorry, but I'm pretty sure that the politicians and the bureaucrats are not checking vax status at the door. And if they are, what a horrible bunch of ghouls they are. You can't even imagine saying, oh, you can't come. You need to spend Thanksgiving alone after the government has already made you spend 20 months alone. These people have taken 19 or 20 months from us. Not a second more. Not a second more. I just think, the sooner we resist this en masse, the sooner this is over. And the good thing is we're Albertans. We're hard to control. So have some fun, people.
And I can hardly wait to see what the official rules are for Halloween this year. You think the one event that would be COVID-19 free, because most people are wearing masks anyways. Isn't that the crux of the matter? But I think we've got a funny video coming up on what we think the authorities might mandate. But enough of that. Sheila, you at this point, you tell the folks what the ostensible policy reason is of this show, and also we give people a heads up, those on the YouTube platform, because there are things that we cannot talk about on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, what things are that, Menzies? Well, we can't even tell you what we can't talk about.
Yep.
I mean, oh my goodness, George Orwell must be rolling in his grave. He never foresaw this, Sheila. He just saw the state being the censorious thugs. He couldn't have imagined a Silicon Valley as an ally, a press taking money from the state that chooses what to report, whether it's news or not. He was only scratching the top of the iceberg, I think.
Well, that's the thing. George Orwell never imagined a digitized society, right? So back in Orwell's time, rewriting history actually required stopping to rewrite history, physically write it out and replace it. Now it's just delete, and it's gone. It's gone. It's it never happened. Thanks, YouTube. There's things that we can, a week ago, if we had said them on YouTube, we would be gone. But now it's things the Ontario government is saying. And so while you couldn't say it before, so that takes away my ability to say, told you so. Told you so. They're robbing me of so many good I told you so's.
Good point, Sheila. What you're referring to, of course, is YouTube revised their censorship rules. Mm-hmm. So it's even more strict. And, I saw a comment on one of our videos, and it said, this is BS about Rebel saying they can't say this on YouTube. Oh, no. I swear to God, folks, this is the reality. We've already been demonetized for not breaking any rules. I repeat, we were demonetized for following the rules. If we so much as break one of the censorious rules, even mentioning what we can't talk about, what do you think they're going to do? And why would we lie about that, Sheila? We love the reach of YouTube. We have over 1.5 million subscribers. We'd love to be happy campers with them, but they're the problem in the relationship, not us.
Well, that's the thing here. We have to do so much more work now to avoid the censorship of YouTube. We have to make 2 versions of the same video, one that's YouTube friendly and one that's accurate. And then we have to really. And then, we have to shoot these YouTube trailers. So we'll let you get far enough into a video, and then we have to say record needle screech. We have to stop right here because we're getting into the danger zone territory of the things that YouTube says we can't talk about. And so if you want to continue to talk to us and see the truth, then you have to get it on another platform. That's a lot of extra work per video. It used to be just shoot the video, edit the video, publish the video, move on. Now it's the amount of stress that I have doing editorial review of videos to make sure that we are not questioning the science, not questioning the competency of our local public health officers, because we cannot blaspheme against them. Otherwise, YouTube will kick us right off the platform. It's doubled everybody's workload because of YouTube censorship. Why would we make that up? For us to bring everybody the same amount of news, we have to do twice as much work. And it is a real pain in the behind, but we're not going to let them censor us. We're just going to get around the censorship, which I think is what I should talk about next. We should get into that before we have to say goodbye to our YouTube people. So because, as David alluded to, YouTube has censored us by demonetizing us. And here's the thing about that demonetization. I think the video was something like big tech censored Trump. They can censor YouTube. And so they did. So they did, unironically. I mean, give me a break, people. Anyway,
but they won't censor certain terrorist groups because I don't know, that might be culturally insensitive.
yeah, name your Ayatollah. They're over on Twitter, but Donald Trump's not on there. You know,
Unbelievable.
So anyways, we, like David said, we have 1.5 million YouTube subscribers. We love you guys. We don't want to abandon you. That's why we start off broadcasting here. That's why we shoot a YouTube trailer or teaser for all the videos that we can't talk about on YouTube, because we want to tell you. We remember you. We haven't forgotten about you. And we think you are entitled to the truth also. So here's this little part of the video. And can we recommend that you join us on another platform for, you know, the truth? And so that's why we start off on YouTube, but we are streaming over on Rumble, Odyssey, and Super U. And on each of those platforms, you can support the work that we do either by leaving us a tip as a creator. I think you can tip us on all three platforms. And Rumble has something called a Rumble Rant. And Odyssey has something called a hyper chat that you can throw us a little bit of money and make up for that YouTube demonetization. And likewise with Super U, you can tip us over there. A couple different ways on Odyssey that you can do that. You can do it in regular old fiat currency that old timers and boomers like me and David understand. And then they have this neat thing called a library cryptocurrency. So if you want to get away from the centralized idea of money and banking altogether, and you're a rebel like that, you can leave us some support that way, and we're happy to take it. And so I think that is it. So if you are watching us on YouTube, please consider subscribing on one of those other platforms, because again, there's content on those other platforms that you are going to miss if you watch us exclusively on YouTube. That's just how it is. And likewise, if you are following along with us on Facebook or Twitter to see when we publish new stories, might I suggest that you also go directly to rebelnews.com, because I hear from Yankee all the time, Sheila, Facebook hates this link. Sheila, Twitter hates this link. Or there are just some things where I say, Yankee, don't even put that on Facebook, because that'll kill our Facebook page. So what the best way to find all the news probably is to go directly to rebelnews.com.
And Sheila, speaking of tips, or perhaps more appropriately, getting tipsy, before we get to my visit with MPP Rick Nichols, a little bit of that video, I just want to do a major shout out. Look at this, folks. This is a bottle of Glenfarclas 105. And as many
That's not from the LCBO, is it? No, not a chance, right?
It was, I am so humbled, Sheila, to tell you that a resident of Alberta, Martin Sabel, I hope I'm pronouncing his surname correctly, he went to the time and trouble to source this bottle at an Alberta liquor store and then ship it all the way from Alberta to Toronto to get in my hands, even though he had nothing to do with the LCBO frauding me out of a bottle of scotch. This is over $100. And I mean, I just can't believe the generosity of Martin and the trouble he went to. Oh, by the way, I'd like to, it's a fantastic bottle. I'd like to buy it here in Ontario, Sheila, but the LCBO's new inventory management system, they're always out of stock at every store. Why? Oh, yeah, because they're government bureaucrats running a monopoly as opposed to a private entrepreneur in Alberta, which if they don't get the stock people want to buy, they go out of business. Here in Ontario, you get a raise and a promotion. It is unbelievable. Yep. So Martin, I want to thank you. And if anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, you can go on our site and see this video in which the LCBO mistakenly sold me, well, there was no mistake really, I don't think. Yeah. I bought 3 bottles. I only got 2. One of the cylinders was empty. Head office told the store in Leaside to correct the problem. And then when we showed up to collect the bottle, the manager unilaterally, a super Karen, an uber Karen, decided, nah, I'm making the executive decision to override head office and not give you your bottle. And Martin, I want to thank you. It's been so many months since I've sipped this golden nectar. And again, I am so humbled. You know, Sheila, you'd never see any viewer of the CBC give Rosemary $100 bottle of scotch or whatever it is she's drinking these days.
No, actually, I saw that they've united in some big, massive conglomerate of complainers about people. People are being mean to journalists on the internet, and they have this like low-res graphic of all the media companies that are sponsored by Justin Trudeau, I think with the exclusion of Canada Land, complaining that people are mean to them on the internet. And I'm like, it's a good week if one of us isn't assaulted, but okay. Sure. As long as you guys don't get them mean tweets.
Wasn't that disgraceful? And I was speaking to a friend of ours, I'm not going to name him, it would be career limiting, who also thought that ad was disgraceful. All these media organizations, which are now taxpayer funded, of course, to a great degree, decrying online harassment and what have you. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to my better half, Lady Menzoid. I think she nailed it. She said that what she thinks this is all about, Sheila, is giving an endorsement to the future online censorship bills that are coming along, and basically going, hey, Justin, hey, Liberal Party of Canada, see, we're on your team. Keep those checks coming, please. And in the meantime, we'll be the media outlets that are giving you good publicity to get these censorious bills passed. What a disgrace, Sheila.
Aside from marrying you, that woman is one of the smartest people I've ever met, because she's got it bang on. And I'm teasing. I'm grateful she took you off the market. Anyway, the censorship bill really is a solution in search of a problem.
Yep.
So the bailout journalists are like, okay, well, here's your problem. Here's your problem. People are mean on the internet to us. Censor them all except us, because we're the ones that gave you the reason for the censorship. So don't censor us, censor the people who are holding us to account and the people who want us to hold the government to account, and also Rebel and True North. Censor those guys too.
Indeed. And Mr. New Producer Andrew has told me that it's about time that we say goodbye to YouTube as a platform. So if you're still watching on YouTube, folks, as Sheila mentioned earlier, please go over to Rumble, Super U, Odyssey, and you'll continue to see the show. So there you go. We'll, as we queue up the Rick Nichols visit, I'll tell you briefly, folks,